Welcome to the first stream of 2020. As you can see, we have a new layout.
New year, new us.
Yeah,
Oh,
we might fiddle with
look at
this
that.
it might tweak every week until we find what we like the best. But this gets you there's a lot less dead space in the screen, so it's really nice. Um, Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start off. Addie, do you have any announcements for our viewers?
A couple. So I said that orders would close at the end of the year for our manifest first print. Um, but it's been extended to the 31st of January. So if you want a book and you want it signed and all that good stuff, you still have the opportunity. You can go to backerkit/manifest dash the dash RPG. It's a really intuitive link. Then you can go and grab a book before we shut down that first edition printings for good. So that's the first thing. The next thing is that we have finished negotiations with our printer and we have our February print date. We're really excited about it. They gave us a really good deal, and which means that we were able to like up a bunch of quality things and get glossy paper. And I'm like so jazzed because it happened literal today. Um, and the other thing is, so that's kind of like Kickstarter stuff. If you're a Kickstarter supporter, you can expect that update with like more of the nitty gritty coming soon. But I wanted to like get it out there and at you um, because it's super cool. We hope everybody had a wonderful break. We did. We did all kinds of traveling and not streaming. And we hit a few snags with the YouTube. Mostly, we went home and forgot to bring our video editing stuff. So we figured out how to do all the good stuff that has been kind of delaying us on the YouTube front. But we are luckily well on our way. We decided that because we're in the last push for the books and publishing and packing everything up and mailing everything out, that the YouTube is probably going to be on hold for a little while longer. And that's the same goes for the RSS feed. For audio only formats, what that's going to look like basically is we're going to get it done as soon as we can, but we can't promise that it will be done before we do shipping because we want to get the thing that everybody paid for so everybody can start playing and we can start hearing your awesome games and all that stuff. So there's that. And I didn't write down my list. It's all off the top of my head. So forgive me for a second while I think about it. Oh, and the final thing is that we are still going to there's two things. So both of them are Twitch related. The first one is that building character and GM styles will return in February. Building character is going to be late February, like the last week. And then GM styles will be returning in the first week of February. So I miss talking to you guys. So much has come out. I'm like dying with RPG news. I'm going to explode. So there's and it's also going to be weekly, which I'm also really excited about. So yeah, that's GM Styles. And then the very last thing is that you may or may not have noticed, but we are official Twitch affiliates, which means that you can subscribe. You know, all of those like YouTube and Twitch people who are like, hit the like and subscribe
Smash
button.
it! Smash that subscribe!
You can do that for us now. So you should do that if you can, if you've got the extra, you know, extra income, or if you subscribe to or if you're an Amazon Prime user and haven't subscribed to a channel already, you can subscribe to us for the month. The other thing is that with that one, you have to do it every month. We will remind you, but you have to remember too. So that's the contract. So we'll remind you, but you have to do it. And it's free to do it that way. And by free, I mean included with the Amazon Prime subscription.
Yeah,
But,
Free.
it's free. You already have Amazon Prime.
yeah, so that is it. That's it. Can anybody think of anything else?
No?
Cool.
No, we're good.
That's it.
Now time for a recap of it's been a little bit, been a few weeks since we played. I'm sure we all remember perfectly where we left off.
Yeah, but like just in case.
But like, I remember for those that of Kinsey you who called me dumb.
For those of you that didn't watch, everyone else I know surely remembers. Kinsey, Roland, and Max have been working within the Dead Man's Gang, a cutthroat gang of murderous people who they don't want to be affiliated with, but they don't feel safe walking away from. So they've been trying to destabilize the Dead Man's Gang from the inside so that they can make an escape. The Dead Man's Gang is after a mysterious lockbox, and the only two people who know where that lockbox is Roland and Pax. Right? Kinsey doesn't know where it is, but you guys at least told him that it exists, and you're counting on him to be able to find his way to it because you guys don't know how to do survival stuff.
It's north somewhere? Very helpful, yes, perfect.
Throughout their misadventures, they managed to kill a couple of the members of the Dead Man's Gang, and kind of sideline a couple more. They've whittled it down so that they are kind of in a position to maybe make some dramatic moves here, but time is running out. One of the things that has been staying the hand of these three characters is the fact that the Dead Man's Gang has had a captive this entire time, Marshal Leonard Yen, who was the marshal who, in desperation, entrusted Roland and Pax with the safekeeping of the lockbox. Way back in episode 2 or 3, Pax gave Marshal Yen some lockpicks, and it seems that Leonard Yen waited and just sat idle and continued to endure torture until the Dead Man's Gang had spread itself out so thin that he could make an escape. And on their way back to the Dead Man's Gang's camp, getting ready to spin a tale of what happened to all the other members, Roland, Kinsey, and Pax came across Samuel Hofstetter, the Dead Man Gang's wrangler. Hofstetter has been tracking the escaped marshal and quickly roped these three drifters in to assist him. They tracked him up into the mountains and had to fight some ball-tail cats that were on the path. And now the last episode we left off with the three of you alongside Samuel Hofstetter and his Ache Speedy, outside the mouth of a cave where it appears that Marshal Leonard Yen has gone to basically lick his wounds. It seems he's been bleeding. He had a fight with some bandits down the road. Their corpses were what drew the ball-tail cats that you had to fight. But Speedy's got a good nose and is giving Hofstetter all the signals that indicate that Marshal Yen is inside that cave. Hofstetter, is standing a little in front of you guys, inching forward with Speedy, and he goes, "All right, check your fire as we go in. I'd like to take him alive if we can."
Sure.
After you.
He walks in. The three of you follow.
Yes. I mean, I don't know what else we do.
Fair. So the three of you walk in behind Hofstetter and Speedy, and this cave doesn't seem like it goes incredibly deep. It doesn't have like it doesn't become like large and cavernous as you walk in. It kind of seems to narrow down. It's very dark down a ways. You can't say for certain how far it goes, but at least this cave mouth is not an incredibly large area with a lot of places for someone to hide. So it's likely that if the marshal is here, he is like straight ahead down like the like shadowy tunnel ahead of you. And Hofstetter walks out to about where the edge of the kind of setting sun behind reaches in the cave, like right on the edge of the shadow. And he's sits there for a second, kind of like trying to spot something in the dark. And then he shouts out, "Marshal Yen! We know you're in there. How's about you come out with your hands up and I'll see about patching up your hurt? It was a good run, Marshal, but your luck's run out. Let's get you back to camp." And there's no response. And he goes,
I'll call out afterwards and say, "Marshal, your best chance of surviving is to just come out, and we'd rather you come out alive than Samuel here have to go in there and shoot you to death."
You can roll manipulate. We'll put you at a -5. You're up against a 6.
Well, my high is a 5.
There's still no response.
Kinzes, would my survival kit have a flashlight?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to just shine the light into the shadowy area and see if there's any evidence that the cave goes deeper. Perhaps it doesn't even hear us.
It does look like it goes a bit deeper. Like you get a better view of that kind of like tunnel that goes deeper in. And you can see like little specks of blood and stuff, like the trail you've been following. That implies that he probably went that way. But you're not quite sure how deep it goes because it goes for a bit and then like kind of turns off to the side. So you shine a light down there and like Speedy kind of like stamps its hooves and Hofstetter goes, "All right, looks like we're doing this. Speedy, cover the exit." And Speedy's like, and like kind of like starts pacing around in the cave mouth because the tunnel is too narrow for Speedy to go in. And he goes, "All right, single file. I'll take the lead."
I would like to spend 4 grit to flashback.
Okay.
So upon reconvening with Samuel Hofstetter, I have been racking my brain with what do I do about the Arche? And I think the best thing I can hope for is to maybe knock it out for a bit.
Okay.
And so on our drive here, where I was specifically separate from Hofstetter, I made some Arche treats. They were just loaded with sedatives. Just a lot of sedatives. Humans shouldn't eat these. They'll die.
Okay, so it sounds like you're trying to at least make a sleep tonic, if not an extra potent sleep tonic.
Yes, accurate.
Let's take a look here.
I've got 2 first aid cubes, 3 tech cubes, and 2 machinery cubes. Can I accomplish this?
How many first aid cubes?
2.
Okay, so with 2 first aid cubes, you can make a sleep tonic. You won't be able to make it extra potent, but yeah, 2 first aid cubes, both of those used up, let you make a tier 2 tonic.
Great.
Let's go ahead and roll for it. You guys had the crafting journal on your character sheets, right?
Yep.
So it's tier 2. Someone refresh me on the amount of time per roll. It's like 12 hours, right?
12 hours.
Dope. So go ahead and roll. If you want to cut corners, you can, but the higher quality it is, the harder it is to resist.
Yeah, I don't think saving time helps at all. That's a good roll. That's 4 hits.
Oh shoot, that's enough, right?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, cool. So you make excellent quality. You get 3 doses of it. And yeah, you make excellent quality sleep tonics, which will mean it will have some negatives to resist it. And yeah.
And also, like, it's in Arche treats.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you like use up any machinery cubes or anything like that. I suppose if you wanted to like work with Kinsey on like with a survival check or something like that to mask it, I would let you kind of use that almost in like a disguise type of way. Otherwise, it's just going to be some kind of social check to trick Hofstetter into letting you feed Asache.
I've still got some skunk egg jerky, if that helps at all.
If I don't know if there's ever an opportunity where I'm away from Hofstetter with Kinsey, but if there is, yes, I do that.
Yeah, no, you flashed back. You flashed back.
Do you remember that time on the way here when Hofstetter went to pee and I came over to you and I said, Kinsey, I've got the sleep tonic to put the Arche to sleep. Help.
Yeah, and so he like wrapped it in like it's like you basically use up your jerky, you like soak the jerky in sleep tonic. So this whole time you've had a jar of jerky kind of like soaking up all the sleep tonic. And so as you move into this the cave, you pull out your jar of jerky, all of the fluid has gone down, completely soaked in, and you just kind of unscrew it and put the glass away. Now you have your 3 sticks of sleep jerky.
Great.
I like how Kinsey always seems to have some sort of like jar or pot that he's carrying.
You're nothing if not resourceful.
It's all part of the survival kit, right? You know, it's
right.
So
do you know how many jars you need to survive in the wild?
You gotta can that.
Kinsey does.
He just jingles everywhere he goes.
He says, Speedy, watch the exit, and I say, it's important work. I think she deserves a treat. Don't you think? I've got this. Is it okay if I feed her this?
Yeah, you can roll either blend or manipulate.
I will roll manipulate.
Makes
Am
sense.
I dressed to impress, bloodied and beaten by the ball-tailed cats?
Yeah, you didn't die to the ball-tailed cats, so. You are up against a 10.
I got 2 net hits over a 10.
Okay. So you say that, he like glances over his shoulder and goes, yeah, whatever.
Great. There you go, Speedy. And I feed Speedy all 3 uses of the excellent sleep tonic.
Yeah, so you hold it out and Speedy like takes a sniff and just like one big bite, like pulls all 3 sticks of jerky out of your hand. I just gotta roll something for Speedy real quick here.
This is a plan born out of looking down at my sheet before we recorded and realizing I had 4 grit.
No, Dan, why?
Now he has no grit.
God damn it.
We'll be fine. It's just the Marshal. He's not going to kill us.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
Okay. Yeah, so you feed the Ache.
And then I walk away and hope.
Cool. So the 4 of you, what's the marching order? Hofstadter's in front.
Hofstadter is in front, and then Pax turns to Kinsey and goes, wisdom before beauty.
Not sure how that's an insult, quite frankly.
It means you're ugly.
Push up.
She thinks I'm ugly.
So it goes Hofstadter, Kinsey.
I don't want to be in back.
Roland and Pax. Okay. So you all go creeping down the light from Samuel's survival kit and Kinsey's survival kit kind of lighting the tunnel ahead of you. As you creep through, it does get pretty narrow, and then it starts to open up just a little bit, seeming like it goes into like you can kind of hear like a some kind of underwater or underground like stream. It doesn't sound like it's flowing very heavily. Doesn't sound very deep, just like kind of like a creek, kind of trickling down. But like everything in here sounds really loud. Like every footstep, like every little pebble kicked, like echoes a bunch around you. And as you get there, like Hofstadter starts looking around, and a gunshot rings out. And hits Hofstadter in the shoulder. Not like a kill shot or anything, but like hits him pretty decently in the shoulder. He spins to the side and like shouts and like ducks for cover. What do the 3 of you do?
I also duck for cover.
I push Roland into cover.
Okay. My thing is I get pushed into cover.
So you all
so hurt.
you all drop down behind the rocks. And Samuel's like kind of clutching his shoulder. He looks at you like it's like shit. Anyone see where that shot came from?
Did I see where that shot came from?
You could roll observe test. It's very dark, even with the flashlight, so you're going to be at a -2 for that. And then you were 3rd in line, so we'll put you at an additional -2. So you're at -4.
Okay, but I have clear sight, so I think that's a -3.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'd also like to roll an observe test.
Okay, so you were in front, so you're only at a -2.
All right.
My high is an 8, but I've got 3 hits.
Okay.
Yes, I've got a high of 2, sir.
So you're up against a 9. Pax, were you rolling 2, or are you?
No.
Okay, so no one saw where the shot came from.
Didn't see a thing. It's probably somewhere down there, if I had to guess.
You don't say.
So smart. So smart.
What was that, Pax?
I said that was so smart.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Marshall! Leonard! Come on now. You can't possibly hold out forever, bleeding as you are. And you hear, like, there's a slight pause, and then echoing from the shadows ahead of you, you hear the voice of Marshal Yen shout out, "Yeah, I still got life left in me. Why don't you come see, Sam?" And Samuel kind of like moves to the side and like pulls out like a tonic, unscrews the top of it, and he goes, "I got rations and whiskey. I can wait here all day, Marshal." And he,
Can I bump it out of his hand before he takes it?
You're gonna bump the tonic out of his hand? Yeah. Are you trying to do it in a way that makes it seem like you didn't do it on purpose?
Yes.
All right, it'll be a blend check.
Yeah, of course it will be.
Yeah, go ahead and roll blend.
Well, that's no hits at all.
Oh, okay. Well, then yeah, you fail.
I fail at knocking it out of his hand.
No, you are able to knock it out of his hand.
Right.
Because that wasn't what the check was for. He wasn't expecting it, so that's easy to just like pop it out of his hand. It's more making it seem like it was an accident. How did you try to make it seem like an accident?
The idea is I was going to come at him with a bandage to try and bandage up his shoulder, and I knocked it out of his hand, kind of accidentally, kind of wrapping it up.
Sure. So yeah, you knock it out, and he like shoves you against a wall, and he goes, "What the hell, McCharlotte?"
Oh, sorry, it's just trying to bandage you up. It's your shoulder, all right.
He like looks at you, looks at Pax, and he goes,
I pull out a tonic and I say, "Here, take mine."
It's in that tonic.
Is it another poison tonic?
Find out.
No, I don't have more poison. It's a tier 2 sleep tonic.
Okay. So go ahead. You roll manipulate. And while you offer that, we'll resolve the roll real quick. Oh. You're up against a 9.
I've got an 11.
Okay, so you got 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So he like looks at Roland, looks at Kinsey, like, "Let's go, Kinsey," grabs the tonic from Roland, and like says like, "Pax, you're up here with me. Kinsey, back in the line."
What? Guess I won't bandage you up then.
Jesus, Kinsey, get it together.
Do my best. I'm doing. I thought it would be helpful, so he still doesn't. He's injured,
Oh, stop talking. Stop talking.
So Kinsey joins Roland in the back. Pax, do you move up next to Hofstetter?
Yeah.
Okay. And then he drinks the tonic. Is this one of the excellent quality ones you made, or you gave all 3 of those to the
Yeah,
archer?
no. The ones I made, I gave everything to the archer. This is a tier 2 sleep tonic that I just have.
Okay, so it came from character creation, right? So it's standard quality.
Yes.
That's not a great roll.
Ah! Sleep tonics for everyone.
Huh. Yeah. So he downs the tonic, like reaches out with the empty bottle, sets it back to you, and he goes, "All right." And he's like kind of licking his teeth a little bit, like, and then he goes, "All right, Marshal, you go ahead and get yourself cozy. Looks like we're in for a Stand off. What the? And he like blinks a couple times, and then he looks to you, Roll, and he goes, "You son of a."
Oh no, you're losing too much blood.
And then and then he's like, "You son of a." And just like slumps over on himself asleep.
What a dumb idiot. We should tie him up.
Well, at least I can do that much, I think. I'd like to truss him up.
Sure.
Like
Yeah. Do you have like rope, anything in your inventory like rope or anything? Otherwise, you'll just use a machinery cube to make some kind of restraints.
Well, I don't have any rope. I've got a survival kit. It is low, but no rope and no machinery cubes.
Here, take one of mine. Make ultra rope.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, you get a bundle of if it's rope, you get a bundle.
Actually,
of
no.
rope.
Take this machinery cube. Make 4 sets of handcuffs and put 2 on his hands and 2 on his legs.
You make a set of handcuffs out of machinery cube, unless you're giving all your machinery cubes over.
No.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to get the handcuffs on him, put his arms behind his back, set him down on the ground. He's out. He's very asleep.
Great.
I was told to shut up.
Hey, Marshall? It's Pax. Would you mind if I came down there? I'll leave my weapons here.
There's a decently long pause. Go ahead and roll. We'll do manipulate at a +5.
Can I assist?
Yeah, what do you say?
Hofstede is asleep. I've fed him a sleep tonic. You have no idea how hard it has been to just maneuver within these idiots. We're super. I swear, we're here to help.
Yeah, so you can assist. You can roll to manipulate as well.
You can take a +3.
Okay, cool. Roll. I have a 12 and a 2.
Okay. All right. So I mean, you're up against a 9. So you get
What?
You're up against a 9.
Okay.
So that's 1 net success. So it's a partial. So there's a pause for a minute, and then he goes, "All right. Packs only. Hands up. Hands where I can see them."
So I will take off all of my weapons, which are so many. So first it's Miguel's gun, and then it's Cho's gun, and then it's all of my throwing knives, and then it's my 2 short, like, sword knife thingies, and then the quiver, because I could use the arrows for stabbing, and and then my other 2, like, basic ass knives, and I'm sure other things. And then I keep my 1 concealable knife in my boot because I'm not a dumb. And I'll no one else can hold these, so they're just in a pile on the ground. They're not strong enough. So
Yeah.
so I will I'll head down there.
Okay. You walk into the darkness.
I'll try to make meaningful eye contact with Roland before I leave. I don't know what the meaning is, but I try to do it.
I nod reassuringly.
So You go walking into the dark. Do you take a light with you, or are you just going off of the light from the point where you guys were in cover?
I have night vision goggles, so
Okay. So you put on and turn on your night vision goggles.
yes.
Okay, so after laying all that stuff down, she then slides down a visor. And yeah, you start walking, and yeah, you can see it does kind of. It's weird. There's like tons of columns of natural stone with like windows into like various parts of this cavern that you're in, and you can kind of see some of the creek bend around some of them and then go out of your sight. You have no idea where Yen is amidst all of these stalagmites and columns, but you keep walking in. You get a decent distance away from the group, and then from somewhere ahead of you, you hear, "It's far enough."
Okay.
What now? Hmm?
You're the
What are you
boss.
doing here?
What am I doing here? Trying to save your life. That's all I've been doing for like weeks.
And then he steps out from behind a column. You see him. He's got like some like bad shot in his shoulder. Like his left arm seems completely limp, and he's like bleeding really heavily. He like is leaning against the column with the hand that's holding the gun, and he like looks at you, kind of like you can see he's a little dizzy, and he goes, "How do I know I can trust you? I don't know what kind of game you and those others behind you are playing, but it sure seems to me like you've been getting along real nice with the Dead Man's Gang as of late."
I guess that depends on your definition of nice. Miguel Reyes is dead. Cho is dead. Maddie is dead. Rosa is on the run. And so is the other one's name. The other
It's
girl.
Sierra!
We've got the Ache, hopefully, asleep outside the cave. And Samuel Hofstetter is here, asleep as well, tied up. We haven't told anyone where it is. I gave you the lockpicks. I hoped you'd escape. We tried to get word to everyone that you were in trouble and you weren't dead. And we could have just left. So you tell me what you want to have happen next. Because I'm not the one who changes hearts and minds. If we wanted to do that, we would have sent Roland.
He like, the whole time you've been talking, he's been like a little wobbly. And then he goes, "You wouldn't tell me in the tent. Where is it? Do you have it?"
No. But it's safe.
"You gotta take me to it." And he takes a step forward and then stumbles into his knee and like falls face forward.
I catch him.
You rush forward and catch him?
Yeah, unless he shoots me. And
No,
then I get
you catch him. He's completely passed out.
Oh, okay. Cool. Everyone's asleep. Yeah, I'll take his gun.
How's it going?
We're coming out.
Okay.
And I will he's probably, I could probably carry him. Like
Yeah,
he's a big dude, but he's like really like Like
He's a little lanky.
skinny and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Right now he's like incredibly skinny, but he's got what muscle he had was like very lean.
Sure. Yeah. So I'll throw him over my shoulder.
Yeah, you can. You got the strength for it.
Carry him out.
Yeah, he's still bleeding super heavily on you.
I cannot help that. Well, can I help that? Can I just like stop the bleeding? I can't. I don't know how.
So you, Roland and Kinsey, you see Pax come around the corner with an unconscious Marshal Yen on her shoulder.
Goodness, he's bleeding quite a lot here. Can I use my first aid cube to get him some first aid?
Yeah. You don't have a first aid kit, right?
No, not a kit.
Okay. So you still can. It's just less effective than if you had a first aid kit. That's all.
Sure.
So using the first aid cube automatically heals 1 hit point, and then every success you get on your first aid roll will give you more hit points. Any injuries he has, you won't be able to treat without a med kit.
Understood.
Yeah, it's not the best conditions, so I'm gonna put this at a -2.
All right, if you must. That's 2 hits.
Okay. So yeah, he Pax like sets him down. Just out of like curiosity, are you wanting to bring him back to consciousness, or are you just trying to like help him out?
I mean, if possible, I'd like to bring him back to consciousness. I don't want that to care.
You do. So you pull out like your some bandages. You wrap it up. It's like there's still blood soaking into it. He has like a few other wounds too, like a grazing shot in like his lower abdomen and like on his leg. You patch those up, and as you do, like you have like a small vial of like stimulant, and you like kind of stick it in. It's like a pain and stim like concoction that you just like stick into his arm, and he like kind of lazily like opens his eyes, and then he focuses and he sees like the 3 of you, and he kind of starts for a second.
All right, old fellow. All right.
You see Samuel like asleep and handcuffed on the ground.
Oh, I was gonna. While Kinsey was doing first aid, I was going to be mugging Samuel.
Okay. So I mean, he has a gun. He has armor. He also has 8 spurs on him.
Okay, I'll just add those 8 spurs here.
Seems to me as though the sleeping potion worked, which was a trap being utilized successfully.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. It was a trick. It was a trappy trick.
Tricky trap.
So that's a 1 XP for everybody. So he also has 2 healing tonics that heal 6 hit points. Their side effects are... Actually,
I imagine I wouldn't know them.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I guess we'll do that. Put side effects question marks. That's more exciting anyways.
I hate this.
Okay, so that's...
Oh, also while we're counting XP, I think an open fight was avoided through underhanded means.
Yep, absolutely.
Also, Samuel Hofstetter was threatened with violence.
Yeah. So was Marshal Yen. So yeah, that's an XP, and you get a grit, Pax.
I can take it.
Hey.
Well.
I tricked someone into a disadvantageous position.
Yes. You looking as you were sitting there mugging Samuel Hofstetter with his face in the mud.
And did I push my luck despite a clear chance to fail?
Yeah, I think so, right? Like, yeah, you could have really bungled it with the Ache there.
Yes,
Like
yes, I could have.
Samuel could have like just like shot you right there. You're almost dead as it is.
I would have died.
All right, so that's a grit for you and XP for everybody. All right. The other things Samuel has is he has 2 antitoxins. 2 tier 1 antitoxins. And 4 first aid cubes, 4 machinery cubes, and 1 tech cube.
So he doesn't have anything cool on him?
And of course, an excellent quality survival kit. And like his LRC tag in his clothes.
I don't think he needs an LRC tag anymore.
Yeah. So Marshal Yen like kind of startles and then sees like Hofstetter on the ground, and he looks like down. He seems still a little out of it, very hurt. His left arm is still not moving at all. It's completely limp. And he like looks at the 3 of you and he goes, "All right. So yeah, it's true. I heard Miguel had died. I was there. That's why they sent the rest of them out. Gave me the opportunity to run. What are the 3 of you playing at?"
Well, we were sort of calling it like the Mad King Gambit. The idea being to like convince Rufus that he couldn't trust anyone and tear up the gang from the inside. We're still workshopping sort of phase 2 of what we're doing. We hadn't really considered much of the rest of the plan. We were still trying to figure out what to do. You being kidnapped was a major hurdle in terms of next steps for the plan, so kudos for escaping.
Thanks to Pax. The hardest part was just making sure they didn't find the lockpicks until I had an opportunity.
Well, I think everyone contributed. Obviously, the lockpick was pretty big, but, if we hadn't put our lives on the line time after time, the rest of the gang wouldn't have left the camp and given you the opportunity.
It's not a competition, Roland.
Well, all right, you sort of made it feel like it. So that's on you. Maybe consider how you speak. Yeah, so we know where the thing is. I think Rufus might... I don't know what Rufus is going to do now that you're gone. But the meeting with the ambassador is going to be a shit show now.
I would be surprised if Rufus was still gonna follow through with it. If that many of his gang is dead and scattered, he's probably just gonna, go to ground, hide until he has an opportunity to, build up his forces again, make another play at the lockbox later. That's why we got to get to it. And I'll say we get to the town over this ridge, Hill Rock, and send an LRC to the Alana Stead Sheriff's office and see if we can catch Rufus before he disappears again.
I think the 3 of us could be amenable to that. Provided the beginning of that LRC is you've rendezvoused with your 3 undercover sanctioned agents, who thus are immune to prosecution for their prior works while undercover.
He lets out a sigh and he goes, "Listen, I fully appreciate what you've gone through. and what you've done for me. All right? But I only have so much pull. You know, my family is influential. I can make something happen, but I can't make promises.
I will try to make meaningful eye contact with Pax, to convey that I might do a threat I don't fully mean here.
Maybe you come up with like an ear pulse like signal.
Whether or not the message gets through, I don't know.
I think Kinsey just thinks that there's something going on between romantically. For this
with all these
bouncing.
significant like looks at each other.
I think they both could do better.
I don't know who that's insulting to.
I don't do both.
Is it? It's in a roundabout way. Yeah, and then I'll look at the Marshal and say, Marshal, we have done a lot of work to ensure your safety, and make sure you're okay, and the thing you entrusted to us is protected. I don't see a reason for us to help you leave this cave if there's not an assurance you're willing to do the same for us. We can walk away now, and we're fine. And you're stuck in a cave with Samuel Hofstadter and his Arche.
All right. Oh, Pax, you gonna say something?
No.
You look like you were gonna say something.
No. I want to. Pax looks like she wants to say something. That's really what it is.
Okay. Yeah, so this is going to be an intimidation roll.
Great.
I'd love to assist if I can.
Okay. How do you assist?
I can go and get the Arche right now if you like. Bring the Arche in here, cave in the front of the cave, just leave you to deal with that on your own if you like.
All right. Go ahead and roll intimidation. Pax, how you doing?
Having an aneurysm over here, it's fine.
So Kinsey rolls intimidation to assist Roland.
It's one success. It's a +1 for you.
Okay, so that makes your you are at a -3 normally, so it's a -2.
Okay. Am I dressed to impress?
Yeah, you look bandity.
Okay, so that brings me up to -1. That's not so bad, actually. Well, I suppose I'll roll and then maybe make my own luck. I will spend a grit to make my own luck.
Okay. You're up against a 10.
Oh, can I beat that? Oh, just a -1 I can. Nope.
What was your highest?
My highest was an 8.
Okay. So he looks at the two of you and like kind of like a defeated sigh, he goes, "Listen, guys. I can't make promises that I can't keep. All right? And if you could have just walked away, I gotta believe you would have at this point. No reason to hang around. Come back and rescue your jailer, that don't make any sense. Even no matter how you want to spin it. That might be a side effect of your intentions, but it ain't the driving force. Now, I owe you a debt. There's no doubt about that. But like I said, my word can only do so much, and I will try my damnedest, if I can, to see to it that you see some actual justice, not just letter of the law justice. You understand? Alright? I already broke the rules once, rolling packs, letting you run off with that thing. You know that I'm willing to look the other way if it's right. So, if I can't convince someone to convince someone else to waive the crimes you've done, at least maybe I can see to it that you get away. But that's the best promise I can make you. I mean, Roland, all the money you stole, Kinsey, the people you crossed, Pax, I mean, your contract is way above my pay grade. I can't fix the mistakes you made in the past, but I can maybe give you a chance to do better.
Suppose I'd rather have the law after me than the Rufus Nash gang. Dead Man's gang, certainly.
Well, if we can make it so they ain't a thing anymore, that'll go a long ways to helping clear your names.
I'm in. I don't know about these two, but I'm in.
He looks expectingly at Roland and Pax.
Me and my friends have spent the last few weeks looking over our shoulders. All I'm asking is that we don't have to do that anymore when this is done.
I get it. I understand the sentiment. That's not how the world works every day. And I don't have the power to change that. Or at least, I can't guarantee that I do. I have a better chance of it than you do on your own, for sure. But your fate is not entirely in my hands.
Well, if that's the best he can do, it's the best he can do.
I promise it will be.
I'll hold you to it.
That's only fair. Pax?
What made you think I wasn't in?
I only met you like twice.
You also don't talk very much. You understand, it's much easier to understand you when you talk and speak about your intentions, Pax.
Well, when you're not bright, a lot of times you don't have a lot to say.
That does make sense, okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. Are you serious? Guys, this is absurd. You both just agreed to continue on this suicide mission. Are we gonna argue about this forever? Kinsey, you're bad at talking. Spend like 30 more seconds thinking about the words you say. Pax, come on. You're not dumb. Nobody thinks you're dumb. This is absurd. Guys, we gotta be better than this.
I'm gonna help Marshal Yen up, and
he takes his shoulder.
Yeah, and I'll be like, "You're right, Kinsey. You can help me by taking care of Sam here." And I'll start walking out.
It's not like I don't have to take care of him anyway, and I'll pick him up by his ankles and kind of reverse wheelbarrow him out to the cave.
Are we arresting him? Is that what's happening?
It's either that or kill him, right? I suppose I could just kill him. Should I just...
Murder is illegal We're with a marshal.
He's got a bounty. He's wanted dead or alive.
Is that true?
Yeah, it is. If,
Well,
I guess it's if you think he's worth the bullet or not.
I don't have a horse in this race. I just want to know what the plan is.
If we come out of there and the Ache is awake and Sam is dead.
That's a good call. Pax, you are the only person here currently equipped to go see if the Ache is awake and not rouse it if it is.
Yep.
Would you mind doing that for me?
Yeah, we're
please?
heading out right now. We gotta get closer to the edge.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you go that way. It gets a little rough when it gets kind of super narrow, where it's got to be like one at a time. The marshal's like following you, Pax, through, and he goes,
I think I gotta grab his belt and like have him in front when it's like really thin, so he
Sure.
won't fall over. Right? Gotta hold him up.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I could be in front. It's fine.
I mean,
he can figure it out. He can hold on.
Yeah, he's like holding onto your shoulder, right? It's like this shuffle kind of thing. Unless you want him to go first, but then you don't have the ability to sneak up on the Ache.
No, it's fine. We'll
Okay.
figure it out.
So at a certain point, you get to the point where you feel like, okay, well, if I'm going to sneak up on the Ache, everyone needs to stay behind. Or you can
I'm
keep
sorry,
walking.
my Discord is frozen.
Can you hear me?
Second.
And then Pax died. And that's all there
Oh
is to
shit!
it.
The Ache's awake.
Yeah. Pax comes around the corner and you just see burst and she gets slammed against the wall by the Ache.
All right, hold on. This is a trick I've never used. I have to become Samuel Hofstetter. I have to do a face-off.
Oh no! Minus 12.
My first aid and blend are very good.
All right. So,
no, she's frozen.
She's
Yeah.
completely frozen with that
Yeah.
face.
That's really great. Wait, can I screenshot this? Hold on.
I mean, you can there's got to be a way to screenshot this.
Quick, someone in the chat, screenshot it.
I have a new keyboard. I don't know where the print screen button is.
And there's just no way to know. I'll kill some of the tension so that the story can keep going while Addie fixes her computer. The Ache is asleep. So Pax is able to like sneak around.
Shit! I just missed her. God damn it! Oh, it was so close. You were frozen like this, and I almost had you.
Okay.
All right. So, Pax, you sneak around the corner and you see Speedy just completely out, sleeping, like slumped over in the mouth of the cave.
Blocking the mouth of the cave, or like?
Oh no, the mouth of the cave is too wide for Speedy to be like blocking it.
Okay. I don't have a plan, but I will let people know what's going.
Yeah, you can walk back and easily inform them. Like,
yeah.
Great. That's maybe the best news I've heard all day.
Sounds to me as though Predator was,
oh yeah, Predator was avoided. Yeah.
which is one of my triggers, in case you're wondering.
That will get you, if you didn't already get a grit, right?
I did not,
Yeah,
so
there you
that's
go.
one grit.
That's a grit because you got 2 of your triggers. So 4 of you with the Marshal can sneak by the sleeping Ache, dragging the body of Samuel Hofstetter behind you. And you step out. It's getting a little dark outside. And the sun is further set than it was before. You can see one of the 2 moons through the rocky slopes around you. as well as like part of the asteroid belt of Manifest, kind of like twinkling as the as day turns to night.
So should we head back to the truck?
As much as I don't want to travel through this terrain at night, I want Les to be here when either Sam or the Archer wakes up.
The other trouble is I think the truck got penned in by that big.
Yeah, you did roll a boulder. You had the Ache drag a large stone to completely mask the truck.
But like, that's bad.
Well, should I perhaps hobble the archers? Pretty good at finding a person if they want to be able to track it. They've pretty good noses.
Do you? All right, I'm just going to come out and say it. I think if we take Sam with us, the Arche will come after us. For him. And if we don't take Sam with us, him and the Arche will come after us. But also, if we kill Sam, maybe the Arche will seek revenge? I don't see a great out of this situation. I'm open to suggestions.
Fellas, it's an Ache. It's just a beast. Alright, it ain't got deep thoughts. I think
it's smarter than you think it would.
I've seen the way it's eyeing Kinsey the whole time. It
certainly mistrustful is a way I would describe that look. Yeah.
Sure, but I mean, if your point to their ability to track makes sense, but if we leave Sam's body here, yeah, he's just gonna want to find his master.
And then we've got Sam coming after us.
No,
in this scenario, Sam is dead.
Oh, his body. Oh, yeah.
It's like the poster says, dead or alive, and I'm a sworn marshal of Alanistead. I can vouch for the bounty.
Well, I mean, none of us can really collect it, can we?
We can cross that bridge when we get to it.
Right, I'm just saying resources have been tight lately, and sort of.
It's only 50 spurs.
It's not nothing out here, Yen. Right?
Not all of us have ambassadors for parents.
Don't even. We gotta get moving. These tonics ain't gonna last all night.
Oh, all right.
Kinsey'll shoot the Hoff.
That sentence is wild, Seth.
Yeah, you do. So you
Wait.
You slump down you let go of the legs. You turn, shoot shoot Samuel Hofstetter right in the heart, and he stops breathing. And you hear like movement in the cave, and you all turn and you watch as Speedy rolls over to get a little more comfortable.
You're the devil. You're off.
Okay, so how wrecked is this Rooster Strider?
I mean, its hitboxes would be full. It like you might with some machinery cubes. I don't remember. You don't have an Omni tool.
No, because you told me I couldn't have stolen the one from the family.
I mean, you could have. It just would have required a roll.
Yes, and we were past that time. I know.
Yeah. So you like with the machinery cubes you have, you could do a little bit of
No,
maybe
you know
some
what?
patchwork.
Sorry, this is dumb. How many machinery cubes do I need to make a lever to move the big rock?
I mean, probably a few. So remember the van is parked pretty far away because you guys had to like stop on like one of the normal paths and then like go off roading for like almost like a whole day.
Yeah, it
Um,
was like 5 hours.
Yeah, but I don't think we have time for me to in like my limited capacity to repair this rooster strider. I don't think that gets us back to the van faster than just walking.
if uh, if we keep going the way I was heading before, we're not too far from Hill Rock. We could go in on foot and then find a path back to wherever you parked your truck. If you think
Kinsey,
if you think
you're
it's
the
secure.
you're the outdoors expert. What's your take here?
I don't see the advantage of having the truck thing, and nobody being able to find it is another added advantage. Why don't we just head up towards town? It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't might much enjoy the thought of trying to trek down that path in the dark.
And if we want to go get it, we could go into town and get some horses and come back for it.
Right. Maybe if we're lucky they'll finish clearing the pathway so we can just take the road.
All right. Suppose onward and upward it is then.
So it's slow moving with the marshal with you. He's still very injured. But it's like you said, you basically go down this path a little bit longer, and eventually like it kind of opens up and you see you're on like a cliff edge. And down a little ways, kind of nestled in like the like rolling rocky terrain, you see a small town, a very like small settlement. Even its like LRC tower looks a little dinky and like small compared to other ones. And he like points down. There's like a kind of a sort of like hiker's path that like leads its way down towards the town. And you guys can make it down there. It doesn't require a check or anything like that. It just takes a decent amount of time with the marshal nearby. As you guys are walking, he's like, "All right, so we get in. Hopefully, they have a doctor that can take a look at my arm, and then I'll contact the sheriff's office and see what they want to do. But if y'all know where Nash is holed up, it's just him and Bo there now. We can make a move, right? Maybe meet up with a couple of the deputies or marshals that they can send, depending on how far out he is from Alanistead. I mean, I gotta expect he's gonna start getting suspicious soon. Last I knew, when I ran, he wasn't aware of the others being dead, but, word travels."
Do you think we can get there before Sierra and Rosa do?
Well, probably not Sierra unless Rosa found her, in which case I imagine they're probably still trying to assault a family stronghold, sure that the lockbox is there.
I'm sorry. What?
You heard what I said. Did those words not make sense?
I mean, the words you said made sense, but Swin is the family involved with the lockbox.
Well, since the dead man's gang asked us to rob the family to get the guns they needed to ambush the ambassador to leverage you for said lockbox.
Jesus.
Like you said, we've been through a lot.
That is... I mean, does the family know about the three of you? Or did you get away?
How do you think we killed Cho and the madman?
I don't know. You tell me.
We used the family to help lay a trap.
Wait, so y'all are working with the family?
We've got our fingers in a lot of different pies, you could say.
Consulting.
Sounds like y'all have a very strange concept of escaping danger.
Do you remember the part where I said before that we wanted to not have to look over our shoulders forever?
If you want to not look over your shoulders forever, you don't make a deal with the family. I mean,
You're right. We should have just said no when you gave us the lockbox and then ran. That would have been a situation where we don't look over our shoulders forever. Sorry we helped you.
Look, I'm just baffled by... look, you're worried about the law coming after you. I would be more worried about the family. They're more organized and better armed than most sheriff's offices and, hell, half of the marshal services.
Listen, I figure worst case scenario, we're dead regardless. So, you work with the tools you have.
Well, do we need to be looking over our shoulders right now for the family? I mean, would you guys...
Not
on good
until
terms?
Rufus's meeting with the ambassador doesn't happen.
Damn. Y'all need to leave the garden. That's, I mean, regardless of if I clear the law, you got to get out of Alana's territory at least.
Tell me about it.
Head to the Badlands or something, or the Wastes if you're more akin to that kind of climate.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about Roland in the...
I don't do well with humidity.
The marshal chuckles a little bit. He's like, oh. Look, I mean, I'm not... You guys have been in one impossible situation after the next. I understand. This isn't me trying to critique your methods. It's just... You're, frying pan into the fire type situation going on here.
It turns out every time we've jumped out of the frying pan into the fire, it wasn't actually the fire. It was just another larger frying pan.
All right. Well.
Oh, we super need to go back and get the truck.
Why is that?
Why?
Oh, the drone with all the missiles is in the truck.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's a drone with a bunch of missiles. I'm learning all sorts of things here.
Yeah, the family gave it to us so we could kill Rufus and secure... No, they gave it to us so we could kill Rufus, and then Kinsey could tell them where the lockbox was. He doesn't know where it is.
The marshal turns to you, Pax, and goes, He's yanking my chain, right? He's pulling my leg. All this is just... He's just bluster.
No.
I don't even know how to help the three of you. Let's start one thing at a time. To the LRC tower.
Great.
We should check Sam's messages.
That was my first plan.
Sure. So it is a small LRC tower with one terminal and no operator. You want to check Sam's messages before the marshal puts out any messages?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if there's a way that he communicates with Rufus so that Samuel Hofstadter can tell Rufus that he's captured the marshal and is on his way back.
I mean, yeah, there is. You can find correspondence between him and Rufus for sure. using like the same call sign that Rufus has used to like contact other members. There's some correspondence there. I'm like, occasional like their past messages are basically it seems like Hofstetter goes off a lot, and occasionally it's like, hey, we need you to come back and because we're moving camp, or like meet us at this point. That's where the camp's gonna be next time. Like if you ever feel like coming back and sleeping on a bedroll instead of just the ground. Stuff like that, so it seems like that's like Sam's kind of messages with most of the gang. What little messages he has is mostly just like them checking in. It seems like most of his connection with them is face to face.
Great.
But yeah, you can definitely like send a message as Samuel Hofstetter to Rufus to like tell him that.
Yeah, Samuel Hofstetter informs Rufus Nash that he's captured Marshal Yen, he's made contact with us, and Sierra sold us out to the family. Okay.
Yeah, let's do a manipulate. We'll put it at a -2 because of remote correspondence. It's harder to convince people of things, and then also you're impersonating Samuel. Oh, we have a subscription. Thanks, random jerk. It's a screen name. I'm not calling them a random jerk.
Sure.
That's what we're calling our fan base from now on.
Thanks to that jerk. Thanks to that jerk.
Bunch of fucking random jerks.
Can I? Is it late at night?
It's not late at night. It's in the their early-ish evening. Yeah. The town. Well, it's like it is a small town, a very small settlement. You do draw some eyes as you come in, but you have he's still like has his marshal like badge, and so like they see that and like they're like okay, they leave it alone. As you guys come down, you just get a couple looks. People mind their own business. You can hear there's like a one building that's lit up a little more than the rest, and it seems to be like a saloon. And that seems to be where most of the town probably is right now, is hanging out at the saloon. You do see some people coming from what looks like a mine off in the distance, like as if they finished working for the night and they like are the last people straggling back from the mine getting into town.
Okay. I have 7 spurs.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to buy 5 LRC tags.
You want to purchase LRC tags?
Yeah.
This town is so small that you can't actually purchase an LRC tag from this tower.
God. Okay.
Towns like
Don't
this,
you already have like 10 of them from the random people who stole them?
No, I always leave them in town so people can pick them back up.
Yeah, most of them require if you want to purchase an LRC tower, it usually requires an operator to kind of mint the tag. But like in instances like this, when you're in a town without an operator, you kind of like you'll have to like send a message out like to like request a tag, which is just kind of like chicken before the egg type situation where it's like in order to get an LRC tag you need to send an LRC message out, which is why like these small towns communication is not their biggest worry.
All right, fine.
Sorry.
Well, then I guess Roland will have to decide if he wants to do it with just Sam Hofstetter.
All right, Roland, you're up against an 11.
I have a single 11.
Aha! Well, you are the aggressor. So yeah, you send out the message as Sam. It was probably received.
I hate manipulating by post. You never know if it works.
And then Marshal Yen is like, I don't have my tag. It took it from me.
So we've got sort of a standard routine, but you are an officer of the law, and I would not want to do a crime in your presence without
That'll be
your
wise. No, I think surely you got tags. I mean, I'll just use one of your tags. Can I bum a tag off of one of you, or do I have to go talk to the local sheriff? And he looks around and he goes, I don't know if they have a sheriff's office here.
I'll hand him my tag.
All right. He slots it in. Doesn't look at any of your messages, like any messages you've sent
I don't
or
have
received. But he opens up a new one, and with his one hand, he types a message to the LRC tag you recognize as like a standard LRC tag for like a sheriff's office. And then he types out that message, basically typing out a report, and then sends it. And then he like lets out a sigh, thinks for a second, and then opens up another message, and then starts typing it. And if any of you peek, it looks like he's sending a message to his mother.
I mean, yeah, of course I peek.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like he like almost reluctantly like types out a message. Like, and you recognize the call sign of Ambassador Yen. And then he basically just sends like a quick message, like saying like, effectively saying like, I'm alive, I'm somewhere safe, don't go to the meeting. If you don't hear from me, don't go to the meeting. Go talk to the sheriff to get more information. He has a full update. And then he sends that. And then he like seems a little woozy, and he goes, all right, let's see if they gotta have a doctor somewhere around here, right?
At least a veterinarian.
I'll take it. And yeah, a quick, doesn't take long to scour the town. You see there's basically a house that has a stamp on the like the front, like a little plaque that says like, Doctor.
Yes.
Westcott. Dr. Westcott, it says there. And so the marshal walks up and like knocks on the door, and there's like a pause, and then a woman opens the door and looks at him and goes, all right, this way. And she looks to the three of you and sees like Roland looking pretty tattered, and she goes, all of you?
I mean, I can sleep it off. Don't worry about me.
All right. Well, three of you are welcome to accompany your friend in here. Otherwise, I'll just see to him.
I think I'm gonna secure some rooms. Don't die, Leonard. And I start walking over to the saloon.
And then she looks to Pax and Kinsey.
I'll help him with the rooms, I suppose.
Well, I'll stay here.
All right.
Yeah, figured.
Come on in. Billy, she says, putting her hand out.
Pax.
Yeah, she's not really that much older than you. She's actually pretty young to like be living in a house and to like be like a town doctor. And the marshal's like, here, and like slumps on like a couch, and she goes, that'll do. And she starts working on him, taking care of him. She goes, what happened? He goes, shot. She goes, Yeah, I see that. Where? Come on. Don't. Is he always like this?
Yeah.
All right. Come on, let's get those clothes off. And she starts tending to the marshal, like, pulling the bullets out, doing general like field work. And she's like, remarks that like she's like, this is a lot. You're lucky to have made it in. And he's like, yeah, well, I got lucky is a good way to put it.
He ran into some bandits in the hills, so.
And then she goes, oh,
we were
yeah?
able to-
Collecting some bounties, Marshal? And he goes, nah, just wrong place, wrong time. And she works on him for a little bit longer. And then she goes, all right, well, here, drink this. And then that like puts him to sleep. And then she kind of stands up, cleaning off her hands, and turns to you and goes, Pax, was it? Yeah?
Yes.
How well are you acquainted with this here fella?
We've met a few times.
All right, well, you may want to sit down. And she like hands you like a glass of water and like takes a drink herself. And then she kind of like lets out a sigh and goes, he's not going to be able to keep the arm.
What?
If he had gotten to me sooner, maybe. But it's shot. Looks like it was shot almost a whole day ago. And, I mean, he ain't had any feeling in it, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, at this point, it's got to come off pretty much at the shoulder.
Really?
Well, I mean, hey, if we were in a factory town, maybe I could have a chance of fixing it up right. But I think it's either that or he's gonna get infected and it's gonna be worse. I think we just got to take the arm. Is there anyone who can come and collect him? It's gonna be hard for him to travel. You got means of transportation?
We got stuck on the other side of the pass.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a couple days before they finish clearing that up. I mean, he seems like a tough fella. Walking upright, that hurt. But I figured you're his friend. Maybe you want to break the news to him, or do you think he'd take it better just waking up after the procedure?
Oh, yeah, I can tell him.
All right.
I don't think that just like taking away someone's ability to make choices for themselves is like a good idea.
I gotta make this clear, Pax. This ain't a choice type of situation. All right, he either loses the arm or it's gonna get infected and he will die.
Sure. I guess I'd want to know. Would you rather just not?
People have preferences, that's why I'm asking you as his friend.
No, I should tell him.
All right.
I'll tell him, and then you can take it.
She nods and goes, all right, well, here's some smelling salts. It's not going to completely shake off the tonic, but it will make him conscious so you can talk. I'll give you the room. You just call me in when you're ready for me to do it. Are you queasy? Because I could use a set of hands for this.
I don't know how much help I'll be, but I definitely don't get queasy.
You got all 5 digits on both hands? You'll be helpful. And she steps out of the room, shuts the door.
Okay. Yeah, I'll like snap the smelling salts and I'll put them under his nose.
He kind of jolts and goes, "Ugh." And like he's looking
Hey.
at you, and he's very dizzy,
Sure.
pretty disoriented.
Hey, Marshall.
Hey,
Hey.
what?
So I got some news.
Uh-huh.
It looks like your arm's in a real bad way.
He looks down at it and he goes, "I can't move it."
Yeah. It seems like it's dead. And the doc says that it's gonna get infected real bad if she doesn't take it. But I wanted you to know so when you wake, it's not so much a start.
Oh. He sits there for a minute, taking a little while to process it. You see just a little bit of tears like welling up in his eyes. And then he like kind of turns away from you, looking at like the like couch. And he goes, "Okay. Thanks. Thanks for letting me know."
But we can get you a replacement, like cyber arm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You'll have an arm again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of looks at his arm and he goes, "That's it. It's gonna happen now."
Yeah, you're gonna go back to sleep, and then she's gonna go ahead and take it.
Like one tear like kind of rolls down one cheek and he goes, "Okay.
Okay. I'll wipe the tear.
Thanks, Pax." And then he like slowly nods back off.
And then I'll get Billy, Dr. Billy.
Dr. Billy Westcott. She walks back in and she goes, "All right, wash your hands over there." And starts laying out her tools. "Just go ahead and roll a first aid test for me, Pax."
Okay.
It's really important that you mark the right arm before you start cutting.
Just halfway through. Oh no.
Hey, I got a hit.
Hey, you're helpful.
So helpful.
Yeah.
I rolled a 2 with a target of 4.
Yeah. So she pulls out a like electric saw, and like it like kind of like whirs a little bit, and then she goes, "These rags are you. Clean it all up as fast as you can." And then she moves to start operating on
I
Leonard.
put down my like night vision goggles to protect my
Meanwhile, Roland and Kinsey, you're heading to the saloon.
Yeah. I'll head into the saloon. You know, mosey up to the bar. I don't think I've ever moseyed up to a bar.
Pretty good for your first time.
And I'll flag down the bartender.
Yeah, she walks over, like goes, "What can I get you?"
2 whiskeys. I need a couple rooms. How many rooms do you have?
I got a few right now.
You got 4?
She sits there for a second. Yeah. There's a couple that's finishing up upstairs. I don't think they're staying for the night, so I should have 4.
I'll take 3. 3's fine.
Suit yourself. All right, so it's gonna be 4 Spurs. The drinks in the rooms.
Yeah, no problem.
She takes the Spurs, puts down 2 drinks, and says, "You expecting a third or fourth? I can get them set up. Don't have to come back, or at least back you fellas up."
Don't worry about it. I'll probably hang out here. And until they get in.
All right, here's your keys. There's 5 rooms up the stairs. Keys had the numbers on them. Rooms had the numbers on them. You should be able to match them. Y'all know your letters and all. And if you don't, it looks exactly the same.
Yeah, no, I could do shapes.
All right. Well, welcome to town, fellas.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
And she turns around and like fills like a bunch of like mugs with some beer and like goes like wading into like where there's clearly a bunch of like miners who have they're like covered in like dust and soot and stuff, and they like grab it and they like cheer and they like, you know, flip some spurs her way and then like hand her like a shot that was sitting on the table, and she like chats with them. They clearly know each other, and then it's just the two of you. It's like the town is small, and this saloon is small, but when the whole town is in the saloon, it seems a lot like it's suddenly a much bigger town because it's just packed in here. This is like the thing they have to do.
So is it just an instinct for you to come up with a new character for every town?
Yeah, I suppose it is.
Where does that come from? I mean, just 100% self-preservation? Does it provide you with...
There's not a lot of towns I can go back to otherwise. Some of them are nice.
That widespread is your crime spree, then?
I mean, it's not, like, widespread, but, you know, I never really left the Alanastead territory, but, like, the nature of this game is you keep moving.
That's very impressive.
I'm like a shark that way.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the two of you can keep chatting. There's nothing really huge going on. There's nothing suspicious happening in this tavern. Just a town full of a bunch of happy people.
It really doesn't bother you to shoot unconscious Sam Hofstetter.
You know, in a case such as that, we've got enough enmities, and our chances are only slowly improving just now. As many of them as we can take completely out of the picture, I think is our best bet. So it's more of a self-defense thing, I suppose. I'm not saying I won't think about it later, but when it comes to me, you, or Pax, and him, it's not that big of a comparison. I'm ready to be done with the Dead Man's Gang. And if that takes some underhanded measure...
It bothers me that that's the calculus, right?
It's not a calculus that I put myself in.
I appreciate you doing that, all the same. Because I came to the same conclusion, and I don't know if I could have done it.
And we both know that Pax wouldn't have done it.
No, probably not.
By the way, something going on between the two. Some sly glances, and do seem to be clear. I'm always a bit of an outsider, a third wheel, but...
That's really... It's not by design, Kinsey. It's more like... Listen, I'm going to be straight with you. You're a bad liar.
Oh, yes. I'm terrible, dreadful.
Like, it's not a judgment on your character. It's just... If you... My read on it has been, if you know the plan and someone asks you about it, you cannot conceal it.
It's fair enough. I understand your reasoning, for sure.
listen, let me be clear. Like, we have been in situations where I have had to trust you with my life. And I trust you with my life. Just not if you have to lie about it.
Well, that's why I'm sticking with
Oh. I think you cut out enough there that we definitely couldn't hear. You said sticking.
I said, that's why I'm sticking with you, I suppose.
The three of us make a hell of a team.
Yes.
Listen, there's not something going on between me and Pax. There is clearly something wild going on between the two of you. And, like, it's gotta stop. You understand what's at stake here. You are arguing like teenagers.
Yes, it's a fair point. I really didn't mean to call her. Well, I meant to at the time, but I think tensions were high, and I had a misunderstanding as to what the entire plan was. But I'm also not very good at apologizing, so that's just kind of where we're stuck at the moment.
Kinsey, it's just 2 words. You just gotta say 2 words. You can say 2 words. You've said at least 10 in this conversation.
I can say 2 words, yes. That's a fair enough point.
All right. Please do that.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh,
I'll get another round for us.
It takes a little while before you can get the bartender's attention again. Then she very quickly pours you another drink, and then moves back to like chatting with the locals. Yeah, Pax. The surgery is a success. Leonard Yen only has one arm now. His left arm is completely gone, cut off at the shoulder. The doctor puts like a wrap on it that kind of like seals to his skin a little bit, and puts a lot of pressure on it, and like keeps the blood flow from like stymieing, and like she goes, all right, and when this dissolves, it should be all good.
Okay.
It's gonna take some adjustment, but y'all don't seem like the kind of people who are gonna be in town for long, so I don't suppose I'm gonna be overseeing his recovery.
Probably not. Can how much do I owe you?
Well, she says, wiping the last of the blood off her hand, and then she sits there for a second. She goes, I mean, he is a marshal, so I'm not looking to. She grins slightly, and she goes, charge him too much. And she doesn't giggle like an idiot like I do. I'm not looking to charge him too much. He got 5 spurs. That'll go a long way around here.
What would you actually charge?
It's all case by case. I mean, I just need to make it through the month, I don't scale up a lot. I suppose, the supplies I've used would run me probably 8 to 12 spurs at least. And, I mean, that's more than enough. I can restock my supply. This is what I'm here for. My time ain't a premium. I'm happy to help.
Well,
But 5 spurs will do fine. That will get me a cube next time I go through town.
Would you would 7 and a grapple gun do it?
She chuckles at that. She goes, 7 alone will do fine. I appreciate it.
Okay. That's all. That's all. So here you go, and I'll give her my 7 cubes that I couldn't buy on LRC.
7 spurs.
7 spurs.
Hmm.
I have 0 cubes.
And she takes it. She goes, I appreciate it. He can stay here for the night. I'll look after him. You are welcome to stay as well if you want to be there when he wakes up. But it's at least going to be probably until sunrise before he's fully awake.
I'm not sure there isn't some danger to him still, so I think I'll stay here.
All right. Well, yeah, it will be very early morning. He might stir.
Okay.
It'll ache a little bit, but there's painkillers weaved into the press there, so it shouldn't hurt him too much. It's mostly going to be phantom pains that are going to bother him the most.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll just be over in the other room. If you need me, just holler.
Will do.
And she grabs a bottle of whiskey and walks out. So Roland and Kinsey, the night continues on. Pax does not return to the saloon.
Yeah, I think after like a couple hours, I'll probably head back over to the docks just to check on things, see how it's going.
Sure. There's a knock on the door, Pax.
Oh, all right. I'll have like a gun behind the door. I'll open it. Roland,
What?
don't scare me like that.
I just knocked on the door.
It's like so.
It's like 10:45.
I was sleeping.
Okay, sorry. Is everything okay?
No. He asked if everything was okay. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know if you can.
We can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I'll be like, the Marshal lost his arm, so things are okay, but less than great.
Wait. Did they have to take it, or did she do a bad job?
No, it was dead when we got here.
Okay. That's less bad? I don't know.
He's gonna be okay, but
Oh.
He's like asleep with sedatives and stuff, so I figured staying here in case, I don't know, the Ache
Seeks
or something.
revenge.
Yeah. So I figured it was better if I was here just to keep an eye.
Okay. Well, I suppose there's a spare room for you at the saloon. If you change your mind, and I'll hand you your key.
Okay, cool. We might get out of here when he wakes up. It depends what he wants to do. I don't know. I guess not like out of here without you, just like not
No,
in this
I figured.
room. We're not running away or anything.
I know you're not, but if you're ever in this situation again, I wouldn't. You can stop before you say that part.
Okay. Yeah. Stop being weird. Go this way.
It's 10:48.
Listen, I don't need your time checks, okay? It's been a long time since there's been a bed or whatever. So you can hang out with me here, or you can go do cool, fun, stealing people's money things or whatever.
I'm gonna do a grift while the marshal's over there. I might do a grift while the marshal's over there and I'm over.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I probably won't do a grift. All right.
Who am I asking for if I need you?
I didn't give a name.
Okay.
But I'm in this one.
Okay. Great.
Cool.
All right.
Bye.
Does anyone get up to anything, or does everyone just kind of rest up for the night?
I mean, if there's a poker table, I'll go play poker.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple. It's like not like a poker table, but there is a table where some people are playing poker.
That's a poker table in my book.
Yeah, and they're happy to have you join in. We'll do a large scale manipulation test here to both not make these people think that you're like a con artist lying about who you are and why you're in town and all that goodness, and also maybe to win some of their money.
Sure.
How much money are you just like, you're not, I mean, they're playing for like drinks mostly. But
yeah,
like,
I'll put in like, what is it? It's like a few drinks as a spur, basically.
yeah.
I'll sit down with like 2 spurs worth of chips.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm not like here to like fleece people. It's mostly like I'm here to just like play a game, right?
Yeah. You're relaxing. I get it. You were up against a 7.
Okay. If that's not like gambling destiny, I don't know what it is. I got 3 7s.
All right, you win a spur over the course of the night. You collectively win a spur, and they buy whatever stories you tell them for who you are.
Sure. Here I'm Brett.
Yeah, you make a couple friends, like not like significant friends, but like that one night at a bar friends, right? They like as you're playing, they like they buy you a drink or 2, and then they keep chatting with you. All 4 of these people work in the mine. It seems like for the most part, it's this kind of weird thing where it's like this town is split where like you notice like they kind of like as they're talking a bit about it, not like they're like giving you the story of the town, but like you just kind of notice it through like what they say. It seems like everyone who works in the town is really young. And then everyone who like after people get old enough, like they go and work in the mine for a little bit and then they just retire. And that's like kind of like the life cycle of people in this town. It's like you work in you work in town starting like at like 12 years old, and then you get to like 22 years old and you go and work in the mine for like 10 years, and then you've broken your body and you go like and like just like live an easy life, maybe working in the mine every once in a while. And that's how this town gets by.
Sure.
Yeah, and Kinsey, what about you? You just hitting the hay, or are you staying up late doing anything?
I think Kinsey's hanging out in the bar, just getting his conversation down. telling old stories and talking about the various game and sports that one can play. Actually, it's a mining town. It shocks me that nobody's ever bowled for squonk.
Bold for squonks.
Never been bowling for squonk? Well, I'll tell you what. The only way to catch them is with a bowl, you see. As soon as they're scared, they... So you take a bowl, you toss it at them, you got to get it right underneath them so that as they're turning into water, they catch it in the bowl. You've never done this before. A friend of mine developed his own design for a bowl. It starts out as a discus, and you throw it like a frisbee, pops up underneath them.
Now, there ain't no way. There ain't no way you get the whole squonk in the bowl. There ain't no way. You're making this up.
You can't, the squonk can't divide itself, you know, so itself. So anything that splashes over tends to move back into the bowl. I'm telling you, it's the most fun one can have. It's probably my favorite hunting.
Georgie, where'd you say you send them squonks in the mine? This fella here, he says he can catch a squonk in a bowl. Throw it right at him.
I can do it.
Georgie looks at you and goes, "Put your money where your mouth is, friend. I'll show you some squonks."
Oh, I've got 3 spurs right here.
Yeah, so they'll make a wager with you for your 3 spurs against 3 of them with 1 spur. one spur each, right? And then you and 3 miners go into like a wing of like the top level of the mine, and let's roll a survival check, see if you can find some squonks to throw a bowl at.
Yeah, all right.
For those of you watching at home, a squonk is a creature that can turn into water and manifest when it's scared.
You know, like you do.
Like you do.
It's extremely salty.
Yeah, you can't drink it.
It's bad.
I mean, listen. You could drink anything that's liquid. Whether or not it's fine when you do, that's a different thing.
No, it's just like part of it is like you immediately throw up.
Am I recalling an aspect of...
No, this isn't like a knowledge check or anything like that.
All right.
So you're not getting any bonuses for like recalling aspects of nature. This is more practical skill.
That's 3 hits with a high of an...
A high of what?
11.
Oh wow. Yeah. So eventually like you're shining some lights through, and eventually like you hear some rustling, and sure enough you see a squonk come around the corner and like see you and like scurry down down a little ways. Squonk is kind of like a little sort of like bipedal short creature, super like wrinkly and like grotesque in its face. It's like pug-like kind of ugly face, big like dark eyes, and like little sharp like teeth that you know are actually poisonous. And it like kind of like it's like and like goes running off. And then like you eventually are able to like corner Squonk, and then like you like get all of the 3 miners to like hang back. And they're like watching from like down a tunnel as you creep up on the Squonk, because you can't, it will turn into water if it knows you're coming.
That's right.
And then you have a bowl that you like took from the saloon at the ready, and you throw it, and it like clangs on the ground. The Squonk's like and jumps up in the air and turns into water, and then like the bowl like kind of stops, and they come running over and like shine their lights in it, and they're like, "Oh, I'll be damned!
What did I tell you?
Bowling for squonks! Oh, show me, do it again. Show me your technique. We're gonna take the boys, all the boys' money later." And yeah, they have you like bowl a couple more squonks, and they give it a try, and you have a fun time with these miners. And this.
See, the trick is to go underhanded there, right? So you get a little bit of, not too much.
And then like at a certain point, there's like they're like, wait, hush, and they like hear like movement in one of the mine shafts, and they're like, "It's foreman. We gotta go.
Cheese it.
So yeah, the 3 of you like kind of chuckling and giggling and running out drunkenly out of this mine. as the foreman is like investigating the noise, thinking someone's in the mine after dark. Yeah. Everyone can have a grit for excellent roleplay during all these scenes, for sure. Also, you all should have gotten a grit for surviving a potentially life-threatening situation earlier in the
I
game.
believe so.
You know
Oh,
what?
I also just showed someone how to survive.
Sure. No, like, I mean, yeah, it's... Survive is a stretch, but it is...
You just said they were poisonous, didn't you?
Yeah, but that's not... You don't have to do anything to make a squonk turn into water.
Well, but what if you need to catch a squonk for the venom from their fangs?
Yeah,
Because someone
you
has been
did teach
poisoned
them.
by a squonk.
You taught someone some outdoor skills. I will give you the XP. It's a bit of a stretch.
Heard.
Yeah. And then the night passes without much incident. Everyone who's resting, you can regain hit points equal to your durability stat. And right before the sun is rising, Pax, you wake up to the Marshal stirring. He kind of like sits up and like lets out like an involuntary like grunt, and like kind of wakes you up. And he's like kind of sitting there, and he's like looking at his arm, and he sees you. He goes, "Hey."
Hi. How you doing?
I could use a drink.
You know, I don't know if that's allowed, but I'll get you one.
All right. Yeah, there's like I said, there's a couple bottles of whiskey in the pantry there, so you grab a bottle, pour a glass. He's like, "Thanks." He like slams it, sets it down. He goes, "Whole damn arm, huh?"
Yeah.
Well, at least it ain't my shooting arm, I guess.
Yeah. Now you can get a cool mechanical one.
I mean, I'll have to. But I ain't looking forward to it. Thanks for waking me up.
Yeah.
But you don't have to sit here and look after me. If I mean that chair looks comfy, but surely you could get a bed in the saloon.
Yeah. Roland got me one. I just wanted to make sure you were okay or whatever. After there was like a lot of blood, so I don't know. It felt serious or something.
Feels serious. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, Pax. What are you doing with these two? Roland and Kinsey? I mean, they ain't the same kind of person you are. Right? I mean, I understand, your circumstances, why you took the law into your own hands, and I mean, indentured servitude is an unfortunate reality of the judicial system, and I mean, I looked at the report for your crimes, and I mean, I think you're someone who just kind of got ate up by the system, right? It makes sense to me why you're on the run, but that Roland character, he's he's the kind of, he's a grifter. He's in it for himself. And Kinsey, I mean, you saw, he didn't even hesitate to shoot Hofstetter. I mean, he didn't leave a lot of bodies behind her while he was rustling, but he left a few.
Yeah, well, there, no saving me. So, like, before I go out, maybe I can save a couple people. Like you. And Roland is selfish, but he's not good, but he's not bad. And Kinsey just doesn't get people. He just doesn't get like that the things that he does are bad. Like, he understands that they're bad, but he doesn't get why, and it doesn't occur to him to think about it ahead of time. They could be better. I don't know that I could save them, but I could give them a chance to be better. Like, if I get caught, that's it. I'm just done.
That ain't your responsibility.
But what am I gonna do? Like, I'm not gonna like go out and have a family and then pass on my debt to them like my mom did to me. So like, and I'm not changing the system. So,
I mean, you get out of the territory, right? It'll be hard pressed to find you.
But, I mean, they do, right? Eventually they do.
The way I see it, there ain't no such thing as perfect existence. Not on this planet. Not in this world. Alright, you gotta make do with what you got. And, find peace. Find a way to live clean. I don't think those two know how to do that.
They're better now than they were. And honestly, Marshall, I'm not, like, I'm already dead. So why not spend my time trying to do just one more good thing? I'm a good person, but that doesn't matter. So maybe if I can make some bad people a little less bad, that's enough.
I think there's a way you get out of this. Right?
No.
People like Roland and Kinsey, they're going to cause trouble where they go, but you could be sensible. You could get out, get away.
I'd be dead but for both of them. They saved me. They saved me so I could save you.
It's exactly that kind of mentality that gets people stuck in gangs like the Dead Man Gang. You think every person in that gang was just through and through a bad person? No, they felt a kinship to each other and felt like they owed each other for looking out for one another. But that gets you... That happens through circumstance, right? That just means someone who was nearby when something went bad, you're just stuck with them for the rest of your life. You want to know why The Dead Man's Gang seems to have it in for me, because I'll tell you, it ain't a new thing. We have history. My ma won't talk about it much, but I had a little brother. His name was Howard. He ran away when we were just kids. I only found out he was alive a few years ago. And that's when I found out he was a member of the Dead Man's Gang. I was already Marshal by then, so I tracked him down. Tried to bring him back home. But he wasn't interested. These people looked out for him. These people were his family. He wasn't like them. But because they were around when things were tough for him, he just decided to go all in with them. I thought I could force him back home, bringing the Dead Man's Gang to justice. I mean, I figure if he gets put into the servitude system, we could keep him near home. He'd have some form of stability in life. He wouldn't just get out there and get himself killed. But that's... arresting these bastards is easier said than done. Now, I lost their trail a few months back. They went real quiet. And that's when that thing showed up on my doorstep. That box.
Map.
Yeah. It's a map, all right. Half of one, anyways. You ask me, it's horseshit. But don't matter what I think. Rufus Nash, he believes in it. He's willing to kill for it. My brother sent me that map with a message saying he'd seen Nash for who he really was. Like everything I'd said to him just suddenly sunk in. And he begged me to keep it away from him. He turned against Rufus. And he paid the price. Almost instantly. And Rufus made sure that I knew my brother was dead. For what he'd done. And like a fool, I went looking for revenge. And apparently just fell right into Rufus's trap. Like a damn idiot. My brother said keep the map away. I thought it was safer with me than somewhere else. And that swept all you up in this. All because my brother felt a loyalty to that gang because of poor circumstance. It's a big enough world. You can go find your own way. You don't have to be a part of this.
Marshall, do you actually think that you and Kinsey and do you think the three of you could even one more day?
Could even
Do
what?
you think that would happen? That's not how it works. Kinsey can chew, but he's a big old baby, and the second he gets hit, he's down. Roland is completely incompetent when it comes to a fight. If he can't talk his way out of it. And you, sorry, Marshall, but you've only got one arm right now. Rufus Nash walks in here with Rosa Valantes, and that giant man. Do you really think that you live? That box that your brother died for is safe? Whatever that map is to, or whatever, doesn't really matter, right? What matters is ending the Dead Man's Gang. So you honestly today can tell me that if Rufus Nash walked into town looking for Samuel Hofstetter, that you would be okay, I'll leave. So I guess the question is, are you going to lie to me or not?
He holds out the glass and goes, "I'll take another drink."
Pour him another. Shut the fuck up with these patronizing men. You call me and think I can't do things.
He drinks that, sets it down, and goes, "All I'm saying is you don't have to go to the ends of the earth because you had to share a cell with Roland for 2 hours on a road."
Roland's gonna find a grip that'll take him away. Kinsey's gonna find some hunt. It's gonna take him away. They're gonna leave me. And when they do, I'll figure it out. I'll probably be dead. But if I'm still alive, I'll figure it out.
Rather you weren't. Dead Man's Gang's taken enough lives.
Dead Man's Gang isn't gonna take my life. The lot.
Hope you're right. Anywho, I should get some shut-eye. This thing itches.
Yeah, do you want a real bet?
No, this couch will do just fine.
Really?
Yeah, I'll stay here for a bit. You go in the saloon, make sure those two don't get in any trouble. We'll figure out what to do tomorrow morning. See if the sheriff got back to us.
Okay.
Don't suppose you want, as you're like walking out. Don't suppose you want to tell me where it is? The lockbox.
Couldn't it, even if I wanted to.
Yeah. Yep. Night packs.
Night, Marshall.
That's what we'll end the session. Woo! 2020!
Wow.
Wow,
Talk
wow,
about
wow.
some great character work.
Wowie, wow. Thank you to everyone who's been watching. As always, we will end this stream with opening the floor for any questions any of you guys may have. We don't have any from the Kickstarter exclusive Discord. So I don't have any to start us off with, but anyone in the chat, if you feel like it, you can shoot a question. I'm watching it right here. I think the others might be watching it too. It can be a question about the game. It can be a question about the episode you just watched or the campaign in general or any of the players. Really, just you got something? Ask. Otherwise, we are back on schedule with this. We're going to get back into doing this every week, every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Continue the story of these three characters. Things are coming to a head.
I know. We're like getting some answer story. It's exciting.
Yeah. So we'll be picking up episode 14 next week at 8 p.m. And then I believe GM Styles does not kick off until February, right? That's
Yeah, it's the first week in February is the beginning, or not beginning, but like GM Styles recommences.
Yeah.
Soft reboot.
That'll be very
Soft reboot of GM Styles, yeah. For those of you who don't know, GM Styles is when the amazingly talented GM Addy Gia, who is almost never gets to just play like this, talks about GMing tips, talks about RPG news in general, and then also chooses a topic to discuss and about like GMing in general, and then also answers any questions you may have about weird GMing situations or tips or anything that you need. I don't see any questions coming in the chat, so I think we probably don't have any this time around, which makes sense.
Yeah. Well, the final debate before the Iowa caucuses is happening right now
Yeah.
for Democrats. So,
So to all of you who are watching this not live, you missed out.
It's still going. You could turn over to it. But before you do, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, we already had a few people subscribe. We had someone gift someone else a subscription. This is great. We're so excited to finally have affiliate status. There's gonna be more and more cool things coming for subscribers. Cool little what is it, like stickers and like emotes and stuff. Is stuff they get in the chat? Yeah.
Yeah, and like badges and you get to be a deputy or whatever.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's just going to keep
We'll get
growing. The
there.
more subscribers we get, the more cool things we can do for our subscribers. Also, we can, update people's like cameras and audio and just make the stream like better and smoother. This is great. We're really excited to start off the year full force with the Manifest stream. Thank you to everyone who's been watching. I think with that, we're going to move into a little outro here and end the stream. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Love you.